Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki jai. Jagannath Rath Yatra Festival ki jai. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila chapter 18, the ecstatic dancing of Lord Chaitanya at Rath Yatra. King Prataparudra in person, as well as his entourage, allowed the Pandu Vijay ceremony to be seen by all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his prominent devotees, Advaita Acharya, Nityananda Prabhu and others, were very happy to observe how Lord Jagannath began Rath Yatra. A very strongly built deitas, carriers of the Jagannath deity, were as powerful as drunken elephants. They manually carried Lord Jagannath from the throne to the car. While carrying the deity of Lord Jagannath, some of the deitas took hold of the shoulders of the Lord, and some caught his lotus feet. The Lord Jagannath's deity was bound at the waist by a strong, thick rope made of silk. From two sides, the deitas caught hold of this rope and raised the deity. Strong puffed up cotton pads called tulis were spread out from the throne to the car, and the heavy deity of Lord Jagannath was carried from one pillow-like pad to the next by the deitas. While the deitas carried the heavy Jagannath deity from one part to the next, some of the parts broke and the cotton contents floated into the air. When they broke, they made a heavy cracking sound. So Jagannath is the maintainer of the whole universe. Who can carry him from one place to another? The Lord moves by his personal will, just to perform his pastimes. The deities are really heavy, very heavy. I had the fortune to carry the first Rath Yatra in Vrindavan. And it was just two of us. Only two of us, tiny, myself and what is that? What is that? Very heavy. Yeah, two of us, very heavy. Jagannath usually, when they carry him, they jack him up and down. It's not like you carry Krishna very gently with respect. Jagannath is carried differently, like intoxicated elephant, so he's not peaceful. He's not carried gently. You jack him up and down. You joke, you play with him. But because we were very tiny, we couldn't play because they were too heavy. Really heavy wood. I don't know why they asked us to play. Later, when the OT came to tell me, they didn't carry it. So he came to meet with hi, tiny brahmacharis, skinny brahmachari carried this Jagannath, and they couldn't do it. I was surprised. They're really heavy, very, very heavy. But by grace, by Jagannath's mercy, we were able to carry them from the altar to the cart. Heavy. And moreover, it was inside the rain 12. I've celebrated second time or third time celebrated Jagannath Rath in the rain. Throughout, it was rain. The first time was in Nairobi. As the preparation was going, they were decorating, kitchen was going. As soon as the Jagannath started to move, rain started. It rained until we stopped. It never stopped. Using umbrella for the dirty. Heavy rain. Fortunately, the tarpaulin on top, so it covered the dirty. The rain didn't stop. But everyone else we were in the rain. The second time I had experience is Vrindavan. Vrindavan, Jagannath Rath is not allowed in Vrindavan. Not allowed. It took 𝐤𝐳𝐴𝐿 many years to be able to convince the hunters before they allowed. And some didn't allow. Some didn't agree. They left Vrindavan that day. Because it is giving pain to Brajavasis. Yes? They're giving pain to Brajavasi. Brajavasi are not happy. Akrura was cursed by the Brajavasi for taking away 𝐾𝐚𝐦𝐿. And Rath Yatra means taking away 𝐾𝐚𝐦𝐿. So it's not allowed. Rath Yatra is not allowed in Vrindavan. 𝐤𝐳𝐴𝐿 had to work for many years and trying to pacify the Mahantas. So eventually they are allowed. The same thing for Vrindavan throughout the time of doing everything, all the puja, the lectures and ceremony and prasadam, everything was inside the rain. As soon as we started and entered the main road, it was heavy rain. So I left. I didn't stay to the end because it was heavy. But because we were already there, so we stayed. Heavy rainfall. The history of Rath Yatra. Because we are reading her 𝐶𝐻𝑡𝑚 who attended. The festival started Kurukshetra. During the eclipse, which one? Lunar or solar. And the Dwarakabasis, they came to Kurukshetra. And the Brajavasis also, they came to Kurukshetra. At the beginning of that. So it was there a lot. Srimati Radharani complained. This expression of ecstatic love of God. I am the same Srimati Radharani and here the same Krishna. But the feelings we had in Vrindavan is not manifesting here. Because it was It was the ecstasy that Radha and Krishna, peace and Buddha, was invaded by knowledge and openness. The devotees from Dwarka to Kurukshetra. So opulence and knowledge, or the position of Lord Krishna, does not allow Rema to manifest fully. He was cemetery, he didn't feel happy, yes. He didn't feel complete. He was feeling too much noise. What he considered noise and opulence, what people celebrate as opulence. What he considered is opulence. You see, it's noisy. The chariots and the horses and the elephant. So this is noise. So she was praying, let us go back to the bank of Jamuna. So she was dragging Krishna, that is, at the Yatra, taking Krishna back to Vrindavan. It is from there the Rath Yatra festival started. So when we are calling Lord Jagannath, we should know that we are taking Lord Krishna from Kurukshetra back to Vrindavan. That is the exercise. That is the festival we're celebrating. Giving up the opulence and knowledge of Krishna for prema, Krishna prema. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who sees himself as cemetery, and say he has the sentiment of cemetery. And Lord Jagannath is Shama Sundar, Lord Rajendraనంద, Lord Krishna. So here is the time for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to express his blissful Krishna consciousness. Lord Jagannath is the maintainer of the whole universe, who can carry him from one place to another. The Lord moves by his personal will just to perform his pastimes. While the Lord was transported from the throne to the car, tumultuous sound were made on various musical instruments. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting Manima, Manima, but he could not be heard because of the sound. Manima, Manima is a respect shown to high person. Manima, Manima. So working Lord Jagannath begins from Chandan. Working Lord Jagannath, you have to chant this one. So Sri Mahaprabhu was chanting this word. It was buried into the sound. So the musical instrument being played. It's a tumultuous sound were made on various musical instruments. While the Lord was being carried from the throne to the car, King Prataparudra personally engaged in the Lord's service by cleansing the road with a broom and had a golden handle. Yeah, that is the custom. The king has to sweep the road. He's the supreme, Jagannath, the supreme king, and all the other king and his servant. So fortunate people know the custom that they have to come and show respect to the Jagannath. So Prataparudra Maharaj was doing this every year. He come and sweep the road before Jagannath entered. This is servant. This morning we're talking about servant leader, not master, not boss. This day we have boss. We don't have servant leader. But in Christian concept, we have servant leader. The king sprinkled the road with the sandalwood scented water. Although he was the owner of the royal throne, he engaged in menial service for the sake of Lord Jagannath. He's sitting on the throne there because of the mercy of Lord Jagannath. So Lord Jagannath can remove him from the throne if he does not show the proper respect. Yes. Although the king was the most exalted, respectable person, still, he accepted menial service for the Lord. He therefore became a suitable candidate for receiving the Lord's mercy. Upon seeing the king engaged in such menial service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. Simply by rendering this service, the king received the mercy of the Lord. King Prataparudara's mercy on Lord Jagannath is nicely described in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Very sweet. Very, very sweet. Very sweet. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told him that he came to Jagannath Puri for 3 people. Prataparudara Maharaj, Sabhabhoma Bhattacharya, Damodara. These 3 persons brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Jagannath Puri. But there's another hidden reason that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Jagannath Puri that he didn't mention, but it has to be mentioned. Himself, he mentioned that he came to give association to his devotees. King Prataparudara Maharaj is a devotee. He received the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Sabhabhoma Bhattacharya, Maharaj Prataparudara, and Ramananda Rai, the 3 devotees that brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Jagannath Puri. In Jagannath, the other reason Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Jagannath Puri, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami mentioned that he came to Jagannath Puri because he can stay, it is very close to Bengal, so he can easily hear the news of his mother, Sachi. The main reason Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Jagannath Puri is he is Srimati Radharani and Jagannath is Krishna. So he came to Jagannath Puri to pay the price for which he came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Krishna made the gopis to cry for him due to separation. To pay that price, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to cry for pure love for Godhead. In this way, he taught us how to get the pure love for Godhead. To cry. This afternoon, we're discussing that the devotee was. Many devotees have this misunderstanding. We are jumping to the end without knowing what we are doing. Why am I not crying tears of pure love for Godhead? Yes, I'm chanting, why not crying? That is the state of purity. That is the state of perfection. Until then, we are going to undergo different kinds of purification, and the mind will still fluctuate because that stage is not attained yet. So we should understand that the stage where our mind would never go anywhere is absorbed in the name, and tears of love God, the love of God, it comes, and the body will quiver, and the faltering of voices, hair standing on end. That stage is a professional stage, it's pure stage, not a practitioner stage. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us that. At the Gambhira, he cried every day. Every day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was crying. That is a price you have to pay for pure love of Godhead. He was teaching us. feeling the pain of separation. Last time we went to Jagannath, I took devotees there. So I wanted to roll on the ground. That is part of the exercise, to get to love of God. You want to get to love of God. You have to pay, you have to do that. The pain, feeling the pain of separation, lamenting, which is an expression of your love of God. So Chitama was crying every day. Jagannath Puri, Gambhira, at the house of 𝐶𝐸 Mishra. 𝐶𝐸 Mishra is from Bangladesh. Came from Bangladesh. Most of our children came from Bangladesh to Nawadu, and then Jagannath Puri. So Chitama was expressing this every day. That's the reason why he came there, to pay the price. So he paid the price. He cried every day for Krishna. Krishna made gopis to cry. So he had to come and pay that price to liquidate the debt he owed the gopis. At the same time, to teach us the process. He cried every day. So this festival has to be observed. Every year in Jagannath Puri. And for the years, 12 years, Chitama stayed in Jagannath Puri. It was the years of feeling pains of suppression from Krishna. He was crying. And this morning, Chaitanya read Antya chapter 17. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu leaves, 16 Chaitanya leaves, the door is locked. The door is fully locked with a padlock. And Govinda is holding the key. Govinda is so fortunate. He had been the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was in Navadivas, Nimai Pandit. He was a servant. From there to Jagannath Puri, he had been a servant. Everything begins from Jagannath Puri. He had been serving him even before his pastime of crying for those Jagannath, or coming to Jagannath Puri. He was there, serving him all through. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking Govinda, why did this fellow run away from me? That's Govinda, his servant. Govinda said, I don't know, but maybe he has something other thing to do. Say, no, I know the reason. They are Vaishnavas. The Vaishnavas, they don't have time for anything which have nothing to do with Krishna. They are devotees of Krishna. So if you don't talk about Krishna, they don't have time for West. He appreciates the devotees. That's why he's running away from me. But I will catch him one day. I will say hi. Chaitanya will say, because I juggle word, I do grammar and the Alankara and this and that, and that. So that's why devotees are not interested. They always run away from me. But they are, so they don't do all this. Therefore, they have no interest in this. They are pure devotees. They have no interest for speculation. But I would be a great devotee that all of them will be looking for me. At the time how we did. So while the Lord was being carried from the throne to the car, King Prataparudra personally engaged in the Lord's service by cleansing the road with the broom that had a golden handle. The king sprinkled the road with the sandalwood scented water. Although he was the owner of the royal throne, he engaged in menial service for the sake of Lord Jagannath. Although the king was the most exalted person, respectable person, still he accepted menial service for the Lord. He therefore became a suitable candidate for receiving the Lord's mercy. Upon seeing the king engage in such menial service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. Simply by rendering this service, the king received the mercy of the Lord. This afternoon we are talking about this importance of service. I will get a blessing of the Lord from service. And here, King Prataparudra got the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by rendering menial service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to him in a dream. When he appeared in a dream, he was in an ecstatic mood. Saliva was coming from his mouth, and the saliva was drawing, so it made his body to be clean. And because he was rolling the ground, it was dust all over his body, so not clean. The foam was coming from his mouth. So Bhattacharya Maharaj saw that. So what is this? What is this? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, although in that mood, Bhattacharya Maharaj, he didn't touch the Lord. But when he came back to external consciousness, and he wanted to touch Lord Jagannath, no, don't touch me, don't touch me. Last night you saw me, you didn't touch me. Because you are from a royal order, you see me as God. Only when my body is anointed with sandal foot, with the aguru, it is nice smelling. That is when you see me on the throne, very clean. That is when you see me as a Lord. But when you saw me yesterday with the dust on my body, you didn't touch me. So don't touch me. You are a royal king. You cannot be contaminated by me. Oh, but the program is fainted. So what did I do? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so happy with him, so he removed his garland and put on his neck. And he blessed him. Then he told him, don't tell anybody. I came to Jagannath Puri because of you, Sarabha Bhattacharya. So service. Like we're having a very, very succulent, lovely, prepared birthday cake by Her Grace Himavati, the best of friends, presented here. Yes, this is what attracts the heart and make impossible things become possible. This is a process of Krishna consciousness, service. Service makes every impossible thing become possible. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us by using his devotees. If he doesn't use his pure devotees to teach you, how are we going to know it? We learn from devotees who are on that platform. So, but the Bhattacharya Maharaj did not see himself as the exalted the king. He sees himself here as a mere servant of Lord Jagannath. Therefore, he received the mercy of the Lord. Everyone was astonished to see the decorations of the Rath car. The car appeared to be newly made of gold, and it was as high as Mount Meru. The decorations include bright mirrors and hundreds of chamaras, white whisk, made of yak tail. On top of the car were a neat and clean canopy and a very beautiful flag. The car was also decorated with a silken cloth and various pictures. Many brass bells, gongs, and ankle bells rang. For the passage to the Rath Yatra ceremony, Lord Jagannath got aboard one car, and his sister Subhadra and elder brother Balaram got aboard 2 other cars. For 15 days, the Lord had remained in a secluded place with the supreme goddess of fortune and had performed his pastimes with her. That is Gundicha. He says in Gundicha, having taken permission from the goddess of fortune, the Lord came out to ride on the Ratha car and perform his pastimes for the pleasure of the goddess, of the devotees. The fine white sand spread all over the path resembled the bank of the Jamuna, and the small gardens on both sides looked just like those in Vrindavan. Now this garden is a motor park now. If you go there now, you will not see this Balaba garden. Now it's a motor park. It's not beautiful again. Where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had the pastime, he rested here. Patraprada came to meet him here and massaged his feet and was singing song for him. So it's a memorable place. So it's a tirtha. It tends to be motor park. That is Kali Yuga. As Lord Jagannath rode on his car and saw the beauty on both sides, his mind was filled with pleasure. The pullers of the car were known as Gaudas, and they pulled with great pleasure. However, the car sometimes went very fast and sometimes very slow. That is Jagannath, intoxicated with the love of his devotees. He can move very fast and he can move very slow. Not only that, he can also stand in one place for days. So when there is Rath Yatra, you don't know when it will end. You just follow. If like Jagannath wants, one day you can pull from beginning to the end. Gundicha is not far. It's not far, but it will take me if the Jagannath wants. You can stay for a day in one place, and everybody will stay there. You can't move. So he moves very fast sometimes, and sometimes he moves very, very slow. Another time, he can stand in one place, doesn't move. Let the elephant pull. Let the Gaudas pull. Nothing will budge. Like when he wanted to give a message to his divine grace, the Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, he didn't move. That time, Bhakti Thakur was not in the house, but his wife was there, and Bhakti Saraswati was just a baby that time. He stopped right in the front of the house. So, being the wife of the High Court judge, so Bhakti Thakur, she has the opportunity, has access. So the great time was made for her. So she moved. She was able to bring Bhakti Saraswati. This is small boy that time to the place. And as soon as she came and climbed the car and placed Bhakti Saraswati before the Jagannath removed his garland and placed it on the Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. But the way Buddhists say, Jai Jagannath! Jai Bhakti Saraswati Thakur Mahasaya. As the car stood still, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gathered all his devotees and with his own hand, decorated them with flower garlands and sandalwood pulp. Paramananda Puri and Paramananda Bharati were both personally given garlands and sandalwood from the very hands of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This increased their transcendental pleasure. Similarly, when Advaita, Acharya, and Nityananda Prabhu felt the touch of the transcendental hand of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were very pleased. Who will not be pleased? They were very pleased. The Lord also gave garlands and sandalwood to the performers of Sankirtan. The two chief performers were Swarup Damodara and Srinivas Thakur. There were altogether 4 parties of Kirtan performers, comprising 24 chanters. In each party, there were also 2 mridanga players, making an additional 80 persons. See how Chaitanya arranged everything. He arranged everything perfectly. Not jumping here and there. Everything is perfectly arranged. A singer, the dancer, and those who play the instrument. They are all assembled in one place. Chaitanya we personally did this arrangement. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakura, and Bhakeshwara Pandit to dance in each of the 4 respective parties. One is group, 1 dancer, 1 singer, 1 dancer. Each the head, they are the head. Other people can join, but the head. These are great dancers. Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakura, and Bhakeshwara Pandit. Bhakeshwara Pandit, 72 hours continuous dancing. Non-stop, 72 hours. In Lagos, we used to have a competition. That was 30 minutes. Not 30 minutes, not 1 hour, 30 minutes. We used to have competition. With Bhakeshwara Pandit, 72 hours. And after 72 hours, he will ask, when is Kirtan going to take place? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my friend, see, I have only 2 hands. I have only 2 hands. So if you give me 1 hand, then I can continue with the Kirtan for you. He's never tired. Swarup Damodara was chosen as the leader of the first party and was given 5 assistants to respond to his chanting. Yes. I can never do parikrama. I have my group. When I'm going to lead, I have all my associates, the mridanga, and those who are going to play the character. So it's very sweet. The Kirtan will go on for hours. It will go for hours. Not 5 minutes. Then they come back. So we are coming back for Harina. They don't Harina, brother. This is continuous. We continue. And you have to learn the science. If you don't know the science, 5 minutes, you are off. The 5 who responded to the singing of Swarup Damodara were Damodara Pandit, Narayan, Govinda Dhat, Raghava Pandit, and Sri Govindananda. It's a group. You can give them to Swarup Damodara Goswami. It's a group. They know, when you look at all your players, they know what you want. Not that somebody is doing something else. This is a science. They know. Advaita Acharya Prabhu was ordered to dance in the first group. The Lord then formed another group with Srinivas Thakura as the chief man. The 5 singers who responded to the singing of Srinivas Thakura were Gangadas, Haridas, Sriman, Sukhananda, and Sri Ram Pandit. Sri Nityananda Prabhu was appointed as a dancer. Another group was formed consisting of Vasudev, Gopinath, and Murari. All these were responsive singers, and Mukunda was the chief singer. When Mukunda sings, stone will dance. Another two persons, Shrikanta and Vallabhasena, joined as responsive singers. In this group, the senior Haridas Thakura was the dancer. The Lord formed another group, appointing Govinda Ghosh as leader. In this group, the younger Haridas, Vishnudas, and Raghava were the responding singers. Two brothers named Madhava Ghosh and Vasu Ghosh also joined this group as responsive singers, but Krishna Pandit was the dancer. There was a Sankirtan party from the village known as Kulinagram. And Ramananda and Satyaras were appointed the dancers in this group. There was another party that came from Santipur and was formed by Advaita Acharya. Achyutananda was the dancer, and the rest of the men were singers. Kulinagram, Satyaraj. Sita Mahaprabhu said, any person from this village is favorite devotee. Another party was formed by the people of Kanda. These people were singing in a different place. In that group, Dora Hari Prabhu and Raghunandan were dancing. 4 parties chanted and danced in front of the Jagannath. And other side was another party, yet another was at the rear. See how Chaitanya arranged it? 4 in the front, 2 by the side, and 3 behind. There were altogether 7 parties of Sankirtan, and in each party, 2 men were beating drums. Those 14 drums were being played at once. The sound was tumultuous, and all the devotees became mad. All the Vaishnavas came together like an assembly of clouds. As the devotees chanted the holy names in great ecstasy, tears fell from their eyes like rain. When the Sankirtan resounded, it filled the 3 worlds. Indeed, no one could hear any sound or musical instrument other than the Sankirtan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered through all 7 groups, chanting the holy name. Hari, Hari. Raising his arms, he shouted, "All glories to Lord Jagannath." Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then exhibited another mystic power by performing pastimes simultaneously in all 7 groups. Everyone said, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present in my group. Indeed, he does not go anywhere else. He is bestowing his mercy upon us. Actually, no one could see the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Only the most confidential devotees, those in pure unalloyed devotional service, could understand. Lord Jagannath was very much pleased by the Sankirtan, and he brought his car to a standstill just to see the performance. King Prataparudra was also astonished to see the Sankirtan. He became inactive and was converted to ecstatic love of Krishna. When the king informed 𝐾𝐻𝐿 Mishra of the glories of the Lord, 𝐾𝐻𝐿 Mishra replied, "O king, your fortune has no limit." The king and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya were both aware of the Lord's activities, but no one else could see the tricks of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only a person who has received the mercy of the Lord can understand. Without the Lord's mercy, even the demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, cannot understand. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been very satisfied to see the king accept the menial task of sweeping the street. And for his humility, the king received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He could therefore observe the mystery of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities. Although the king had been refused an interview, he was indirectly bestowed costless mercy. Who can understand the internal potency of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? When the two great personalities, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Kasi Mishra, saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's costless mercy upon the king, they were astonished. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed his pastime for some time in this way. He personally sang and induced his personal associates to dance according to his need. The Lord sometimes exhibited one form and sometimes many. This was being executed by his internal potency. Indeed, the personality of Godhead forgot himself in the course of his transcendental pastimes, but his internal potency, Lila Shakti, knowing the intention of the Lord, made all arrangements. Just as Lord Sri Krishna formally performed the Rasa Lila dance and other pastimes at Vrindavan, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed uncommon pastimes moment after moment. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing before the Rath Yatra car could be perceived only by pure devotees. Others could not understand. Descriptions of Lord Krishna's uncommon dancing can be found in the revealed scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced in great jubilation and inundated all the people with waves of ecstatic love. Thus, Lord Jagannath mounted his car, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inspired all his devotees to dance in front of it. Now, please hear about Lord Jagannath going to the Gunticha temple. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced before the Rath car, Jagannath Swami 𝐾𝐸𝐬𝐬. Jagannath Rath Yatra Festival 𝐾𝐸𝐬𝐬. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 𝐾𝐸𝐬𝐬.
Jai.
Nitai Gaura Premanandi.
Hare Shangu Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. So you mentioned that the mood for the Rath Yatra festival, the mood is to carry Lord Krishna from Kurukshetra to Vrindavan, giving up the opulence and knowledge, to achieve a few love of Godhead. Now the question is, when we as devotees, when we come before the Rath Yatra, when we come there, what should be our prayer when we are just after offering our obeisances to Jagannath? So what should be our internal feeling of prayer?
Well, we are pulling in the cart of Jagannath car. Whatever we are doing, either it's in Mauritius, it's in India, it's in America, it's in China, Japan, and Nigeria, anywhere, Ghana, Brazil, anywhere, whatever we're pulling the car, we should know that we are not doing any material activity. We are taking Lord Jagannath to our heart. By pulling Jagannath to the heart, our heart has been vacant for want of pure Krishna consciousness. So we are dragging Lord Jagannath, please come back to the heart, your natural abode, and inundate it with your pure love. That is a consciousness for every devotee pulling Lord Jagannath's car. As we're holding the rope, we're pulling, you should know this is what we're doing. We should be conscious of this. If we do that, then we are doing Jagannath Yatra festival. If we simply pulling the rope and we're not conscious of this, then we are doing hunting. The purification will not be much. The purification will be very high. We will experience the presence of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his exalted associated dancing. We also see Lord Jagannath, Lord Balaram, and Subhadra Devi present, smiling with us. We will experience it. So it is important for us to hear this so that when we are pulling the car, we should understand what we are doing, so we can have the full benefits. All right?
Yes, thank you, Guru. When you mentioned the pastime of Govinda was holding the key while Jagannath was doing his pastime in the house of Kasimishra.
Yes.
And you mentioned that because I could not grasp. You mentioned that why this devotee is running away. I could not grasp this point. In relation. You mentioned that why is that devotee is running away from me. There was a pastime here which could not understand. He was asking Govinda why this one is running away.
Oh,
it was like.
Okay. Yes. I was in Navadip. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was performing his Pandit Lila that time. So the devotees were not interested in Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because whenever he see devotee, he'll be challenging them for debate. We're harassing them. So when devotee sees him, they will just run away. They're not going to talk about Krishna. You're just going to harass them. But what are you studying? Every day he'll be looking for Vaishnavas to harass them. And he does that. So when the Murari Gupta, when Murari Gupta sees him, he will run away. In Murari Gupta, he saw. He ran away. So we're asking his servant Govinda, why that fellow run away from me? So Govinda said, I don't know. He had many other things to do. So he doesn't. Chaitanya said, no, you don't know. He's a Vaishnava. I juggle words, I speak about this, so many things, but they don't have time for these things. They only know about Krishna and they only speak about devotional service about Krishna. But me, I juggle words, I say all kinds of things. So they don't have time. That's why they run away from me. But I will catch him another time and I will say, hey, I will question him. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was being chastised by a Srivas Pandit. Srivas Pandit one day he said, Nima, so What is the new juggling you are doing now? What is the new one? Tell me, what is the recent nonsense you are talking about? Tell me. What are you going to give all this nonsense and become a devotee? You are wasting your life. Each time we said, thank you. Yes, I feel that I should juggle for more time. Then I will become a devotee. I want to exhibit myself in a scholarly nature to my full satisfaction. The devotee say you are wasting your time. And devotee were praying, all the Christians, please make me a devotee. Such intelligence, such beauty, everything about him is so nice. And even when he harasses us, we still feel happy. But why is he not a devotee? We're praying to Krishna. The time we'll be laughing at them. They're praying for me to become my. So he was hiding himself from his devotees. He didn't allow them to know that he was the one. Even up to the point when he will reveal himself, he will still cover them up. That was the person. Until when he finally gave it up. Said, okay, finish with it. Then the devotee accepted him fully. And even that, the Gadadhara Pandit was still skeptical. When the Chaitanya came from Gaya, and the devotees came to meet him, and he was completely different person, no arrogance anymore, no scholastic exhibition anymore. He was so humble, he was speaking. And he told the devotees, please, all of you can go tonight. You come back tomorrow. Let's meet in Sublambara Machari's house. Let us meet today. I will tell you the sorrow in my heart. So the devotee was very, very happy. So Gadadhara Pandit also, he came the next day. When he came, he didn't come to the, they were hiding behind. Is it true? He has become a devotee? Is it true? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will say, who is hiding here? Yes, you know. Who is hiding here? So is Gadadhara Pandit. Or Gadadhara Pandit, he knows I'm hiding here. There is a supreme. So he came out. And Chaitanya was said to glorify him. You are such an exalted person. From childhood, you never do anything outside the worship. For me, I have speculated and mischievous things I did everywhere. So you are different from me. So they saw that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the supreme person to worship. So they started following him. All right?
Yes, thank you, Guru Maharaj. So no more question from our side, Guru Maharaj. Devotees of how we can take.
Okay. Thank you very much. We don't have questions from me either. We're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate on ending birthday. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Jagannath.
Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj ki jai.
Itai Gora Premanand.
Hari Hari Om.